Bienvenidos, worldwide fans of the planet's hottest entertainment with an edge. Jaime En Fuego here, and I welcome you to my namesake program, Enfuegotainment, for another bit of the 12 Days of Christmas. This is number 11. Yes, this one goes to 11 as we just gear our way towards the 25th of December. Whatever you celebrate here during the holiday season, I hope you have a fantastic one. But today we are talking about the recent Hulu release, and it is a holiday romantic comedy and the first of its kind, and just being a big budget Hollywood project that has a very cute little love story between Mackenzie Davis and Kristen Stewart. Yes, this is the lesbian rom-com, none other than Happiest season, and the cast is bonkers talented, y'all. Holy shnikes. Besides the aforementioned K-Stu and Mackenzie Davis, of which, the fact that they can shift from being badasses in something like Underwater or Terminator Dark Fate to just being, just squeaky clean and, super cute, as I mentioned, and have a fantastic chemistry between the two of them as well. The supporting cast is also stacked. We're talking Alison Brie, we're talking Mary Steenburgen, who else? Aubrey Plaza, Dan Levy, who for me, son of Eugene Levy, Schitt's Creek or Schmitt's Creek, whatever the heck it's called. I haven't seen it, but I have a lot of friends that rave about it. Dan Levy, for me, really steals the show in this film, and it's essentially premise-wise about so K-Stu is about to propose to her girlfriend, and she's going to do it over the holidays when she goes back with Mackenzie Davis, who she's been seeing for a while, to meet the family, mingle, all that other stuff. And she has been warned by Mackenzie's character that her family's kind of more straight-laced and all of that stuff, no pun intended there, but then she has a huge bomb dropped on her that apparently her parents don't know that she's out. And that is big time stuff, and yet, based on the fact that, K-Stu is just so head over heels, she agrees, despite being a very out and proud woman, to just go along with this charade of that she's just her roommate and her friend. And this is the main point that I want to get across with this movie. It was something that I was really curious if I wanted to mention or not, because I also watched a film recently called Uncle Frank with Sophia Lillis and oh boy, I'm forgetting the name of the actor. Oh goodness. Anyway, but that is a film that takes place in the 70s and also has a very important message about family not accepting you for who you are, and just embracing your sexuality and your uniqueness, and just not holding anything back, and just being proud of who you are. But that it doesn't necessarily mean that just because the message is great and incredibly important that the film is great. And so, Uncle Frank I'll probably get to at some other time, but this one, despite just the excellence of its message, I just couldn't love it, and that's for the sheer fact that a lot of the comedy, with the exception of Levy, just did not work for me. He is hilarious as K-Stu's BFF essentially, and he steals the show with every instance of advising her throughout this process. He is heartwarming, he is encouraging, and he also kind of pushes her in directions where she's a little bit timid as to how she should handle the situation of just being relegated to the friend zone, at least, for this holiday visit, especially with the importance of what she had intended to do. So, that stuff, the dramatic weight that is brought to this, and boy, do you feel for Kristen Stewart's character in this, man. You just, especially as she kind of gets acquainted with Aubrey Plaza's character, who was Mackenzie Davis's girlfriend in high school, that experienced a similar situation without getting too in-depth and spoilery and stuff. The way the two of them bond and just they relate to each other's suffering to a degree that Mackenzie Davis's character has very selfishly put them through. Those scenes are terrific, as well as, every time Stewart just has to, especially later in the film, because some of the detriments about this movie are that a lot of the goofy rom-com comedy stuff of it's very Meet the Parents, and just some of the stupidity of sneaking between the rooms without letting people know that we're trying to share a smooch or something more or whatever. Just a lot of the Mary Steenburgen's character especially, along with the rest of the family, none of the humor with them really works for me. It's just cliched and lame. Doesn't land. The scenarios are outlandish, and rightfully so. I guess that just I mean, going all the way back to Christmas Vacation and things like that, you just have to have these ridiculous scenarios, but they're tired, they're old, they're lame, and this is a, you know, film that has a lot, well, they're not fresh new ideas, but I guess to certain people in various parts of America, namely what they're portraying here, you know, this is all foreign stuff to us, and so, you know, just a lot of it doesn't work. The dramatic bits, however, do definitely work, and that's where the film is at its strongest, is when it's dealing with these themes of, okay, what if your partner isn't being honest with your family, or excuse me, with their family, and that can go for, you know, gay, straight, you know, anywhere in between, you know, non-binary, whatever your deal. If you're just not being completely honest with you, if you're basically living a double life, that, I mean, I can only imagine the torment that could have just rattling around within somebody, and all of the collateral damage, and most notably, you know, Aubrey Plaza's character, you know, in the past, and Kay Stu's character in the present, and everything that brings about. And so those bits, as I said, they hit with some heft, man, they really do. But a lot of the rest of the humor from the family and everything, as I mentioned, just doesn't work, aside from Dan Levy. Dan Levy. I keep thinking Sean Levy, that's the director. Derps, Fuego. But yeah, Dan Levy, and he even brings it with just, you know, some hard advice, as I said, from time to time with Stewart's character as well. So while I can't say this is like a great movie, instant holiday classic or anything, it definitely has, you know, far more merit than a lot of other stuff that you could watch at this time of year. And, you know, just because, I don't know, it's just, I think that in some cases, based on just how crucial just seeing this sort of relationship play out, it may be elevated a little bit as such. And, you know, that's just a personal criticism, I guess, and yet there is still, you know, fun and, you know, drama and, you know, just dramatic weight in general to be had in this film. So I will definitely say it is a 3 out of 5 Fuego Fireballs, but it's just some of that humor not landing in my estimation. In fact, the predominance of it that really holds this back from being a terrific film in my estimation, because when it really goes for, you know, just the hard-hittingness of the message, that's where it's at its best. And so I wish that it didn't have to be just kind of mixed around, you know, like, you know how at the holiday parties, there's often those, like, you know, Chex Mix party whateverness, you know, and there's always those, like, certain pieces, whether it's, I don't know, some of those dried, like, brown cracker stuff or whatever, or if you're not into the little white twig things, you guys know what I mean. There's often bits of that holiday, like, party mix that you're not as fond of, you know. I love the dark Chex, man. You know, those are the wheat Chex. Those are my personal favorites, and those are often what I will, you know, go for, you know, along with, like, the nuts and whatever. But I hope that analogy makes sense, at least as far as Happiest season goes. 3 out of 5 Fuego Fireballs, but I feel like if it took itself a little more seriously or didn't have as much by the numbers humor, this could have been instant classic. So I've been Jaime En Fuego, and you can find me on all social media sectors, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, here on the YouTubes. A like, a share, a subscribe means a hell of a lot. What are some of your more recent holiday favorites? Please let me know in the comments below. That would be greatly appreciated. Here on my channel, whereas on the Horror Show channel, youtube.com/The Horror Show channel, that's my main bit. That's where there's the tens of thousands of subscribers and silliness, and that's all scarific stuff if you're into Krampus or whatever. But over here, it's more geeking out with comedy and, you know, science fiction, fantasy, and, you know, Star Wars and Marvel and all of that stuff. So definitely, if you are inclined, I would still recommend Happiest season over a lot of other options that you could have here at this time of year. And once again, it is playing exclusively on Hulu. So I've been Fuego, y'all have been Rat Status, and until the Reel of Ka comes around once more, hasta luego, sin amigos. Constant viewers and readers alike say thank you for a bit of your time today. Hopefully we share more of it sooner rather than later, and I will see you mañana for another installment in the 12 Days of Crimbus. So until then, stay home and watch more Yuletide fun.